Y'all know what it is. CashFlow Kweezy in this thing, man. About to hit y'all with another one of these prison stories. Before I even start, if y'all not following, go ahead and follow me on Twitter, Facebook, you know what I'm saying, YouTube, TikTok, all that. CashFlow Kweezy. I'm gonna be consistent. We're gonna get into this thing. All right, yeah, so I've been out of prison about 6 months, living life trying to just get back right and shit like that. And I just was thinking, like reminiscing on some shit. Thought about a story I could tell y'all about this time I was locked up with a BMF member. But like I said, this is a BMF member I was locked up with. But this is the underlying theme, the message to this story is when a lot of people go to prison, they become whatever they want to be. They become whatever they want to be, and I'm gonna leave it at that, and then I'm gonna get into the story. All right, let's do it. All right, so this little event, this little incident, this shit happened basically when I was at a spot named Watery, and it's this country ass prison. This shit is in the middle of like a farm. Really, it's literally a farm, but the farm is surrounded by swamps and shit. So like they notorious, like they proud to say they never had an escape, or if they did, people who escaped never really got far, you feel me? Because it's like swamps with gators and all type of shit. But within the facility, people who be like the ones who go out there and work those type of jobs in the farms and whatnot, those are pretty much privileged jobs. You gotta meet a certain custody level. Your disciplinary record gotta be right. And if you're not one of those individuals, 9 times out of 10, if you end up on that yard and you getting in trouble and shit like that, or you end up being a person who don't fit the criteria, they're gonna put you in the tunnel. Now, when I was there, I mostly was in the tunnel. Not saying I was a troublemaker, but I just, I had a lot of time at the time too. Like a lot of people who end up on those jobs, they got like 3-4 years left, 2 years, 6 months, that type of shit. And at that time, I had like 7 years left. So I just, on top of that, I was catching charges too. So basically, I'm in the tunnel. Like I said, in the tunnel is for people who got more time, motherfuckers who got, charges and shit like that, and just not with the work and shit. So we locked off in a whole nother section. So that being said, there's more shit that happened in the tunnel. On each side of the tunnel, it's gonna be like the wards. They blocked off with these bars and shit like that. It's like a dungeon, damn near. And it's all open bunks, so it's no cells. Shit go on in the tunnel, you feel me? Certain people were scared to go to the tunnel, you feel me? But it's all prison at the end of the day. Shit happens. To make this story make sense, I gotta bring you into how the South Carolina system work. Cause you got gang members, right? Motherfuckers in the gang, they stick together, or they goddamn, if you touch the dorm, you gonna tap in with your gang, you feel me? Like who in the dorm, who homie in here, or who whatever. Then on another level, you got home team, you feel me? We got homeboy system in South Carolina. So like a lot of motherfuckers ride for the home team the same way they ride for the gang shit, or similar, or use it as an excuse to do certain shit, right? So the way that shit work in South Carolina is like motherfuckers from your city, that's your homeboys, you feel me? Now, not saying that's your friend, you have to fuck with them, but that's your homeboy, you feel me? So a motherfucker might be like, oh damn, you from such and such? Damn, you got a homeboy upstairs in room 25. You feel me? That's how that works, all right? So that being said, you got homeboys from your city, then you got like it just depends on how your distance and how far you is. Sometimes motherfucker be like, that's your homeboy, you feel me? Cause y'all from close to the same area. So boom, I'm kicking it with my dogs, right? And it's open bunks, like I said. So I'm sitting on my bunk, and then my partner's sitting on the bunk across from us. It's 3 of us sitting on the bunk kicking it. We see the CO open the door to the ward to let somebody in. So they come walking in and shit like that. It's this dude I recognize. He work in the cafeteria. In South Carolina, the cafeteria workers wear all green. You feel me? So he walk in with green on. I'm like, okay. My homeboy said, oh, that's bruh from wherever. So boom, he walk in and shit, and I see he bloody. His face is like fucked up. He literally got a hole in his cheek right here. Like literally got a hole in his cheek right here. It's somewhere around his mouth. He bruised, beat up. He got blood all coming through his green uniform and shit like that, like in spots. Not like he just soaking blood, but it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like he done been stabbed and patched up, but it's still bleeding, you feel me? That's the first reaction I'm looking at, because he not soaking, but he like what the fuck is wrong with you, nigga? You bleeding there and shit, you feel me? And I'm put it like this, right? Back to the homeboy system. They from 45 minutes away from my city, but I'm calling them my homeboys, you feel me? Based off of where they from and the fact that I fuck with them. But they're actually closer to where this man is from, who just got fucked up, the cafeteria man. He's technically home team, but he ain't my homeboy. We're not from the same city. We not, you know, and I'm not even, I know him. I know he's from the 843, but I'm not really, you know, I ain't really had too much conversation with the man, not like that. And he from their city, their area and shit, you feel me? They all from the same area. They know the same people and all that shit. So when he walk in and he bloody and shit, they're like, damn, bro, what happened to you? And he like, man, them niggas, some fuck ass niggas try to, you know, jump me and shit like that, stab me and whatnot, you feel me? You know, but shit, I'll fight them niggas and this and that, you know what I'm saying? He talking and, you know, telling the story about what happened. Now, pause. I'm gonna tell you about this man. This is how it ties to the BMF. And I hate to say it, but like, we from South Carolina, some niggas fall for that shit. They like, oh, you was in the feds? He like, yeah. He like, boom, he can confirm he was in the feds. And then he start naming names of niggas from BMF. And now niggas believe he was in BMF, you feel me? Now, I don't have no reason to believe he not, but at the same time, you feel me? I don't have no reason to believe he was. So back to the story at hand. He tell a story like basically some shit happened where they try to say he stole some shit. He came out of Ward 5 or 6. Like I said, they was right across from each other. So he came out of Ward 6, which is like kind of one of the turn-up wards where motherfuckers getting beat up, stabbing, all that shit. Damn, basically they had accused him of stealing some shit or doing some crazy shit. And they jumped him and kicked him out of the dorm and shit, you feel me? So he was showing us his wounds and shit. Now, I ain't gonna lie, he was taking that shit like a soldier. He wasn't in that bitch crying or complaining. He was just telling the story, you feel me? Like, yeah, this what happened. And as he talking, right, like I said, remember I said he got a hole in somewhere around his mouth, right? I remember this vividly because that shit was bleeding and it was like bubbling. It was like a bubble coming out of that bitch, like bloop. Like when he talked, he'd be like, yeah, man, so them niggas try to say I was stealing some shit and bloop, bloop, it's popping. It's like a bubble popping constantly. Spit and blood coming out his fucking mouth, bro. He's sitting here talking to me and my partners, man. They listening all intently. I'm like, man, get this motherfucking nigga away from me. Nigga bleeding, blowing bubbles, blood bubbles and shit, man. Get this man on through, you feel me? I ain't interested in talking nothing this man talking about, you feel me? So boom, he like showing the wounds and shit. He lifting up his shirt. He like, yeah, they stabbed me in my back a couple times with a pick. That was a pick right there. Boom. He's like a skinny, frail nigga too now. So don't think I'm just talking about some big nigga who just taking this shit. Nah, he just was a man about his shit. This motherfucker could take an ass whooping. He could take an ass whooping. I'm not gonna lie. And I'm about to further show you an example after this. So to make a long story short, he in the war with us now. They done kicked him out of that war, beat him up, stabbed him up, and kicked him out. And now he in the war with us. And like I said, he ain't my homeboy, but he my homeboy's homeboy. And they from the same area and shit. So I'm like, okay, now I gotta deal with all them clicking up and boom. Like I said, I ain't really get to know him too much. I ain't know him much before that. I just knew he worked in the cafeteria and shit like that. So he, I get to know him a little more as the weeks progress and shit. He kicking it with us, we smoking together and all that type of shit. And not to say he was a fucked up person, nothing like that. He just was like, you gonna see why, but like the nigga basically was just, you know, one of the motherfuckers who live in their own fantasy. So he was telling us about the BMF shit, telling us how he was locked up in the feds, telling us all this shit, you know what I'm saying, all that type of shit. And I'm the type of motherfucker, I ain't gonna lie, bro. I'm in jail, but I'm in this bitch on my own lane, you feel me? So I really not giving too much a fuck. I'm just, you know, keeping conversation going, but I don't take this shit. If I disregard what the fuck you talking about, it's for a reason. I find out the nigga's a thief. Like, this is probably why they whooped his ass in War 6. He like be moving like a crackhead, like doing thievery shit. He ain't steal from me, but he just be on some shit like, oh, I seen old buddy over there with this and that. And you know what I'm saying? Like, you watching people and shit. And we in an open ward, so it's like easy to watch 55 people, 60 people, you know what I'm saying, if there's no walls and no doors and no cells and shit like that. So he just on that type of shit. I got a lot of homeboys, as in people from my city and from my area or close by in this ward and shit like that. And I'm locked in with a lot of people and shit. So one of my homeboys, a couple nights, like 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning. Remember I said we in an open ward, so there's no cells, and the bathroom is a common bathroom. So we're not locked in. You don't have to stay in bed or nothing like that. Motherfuckers be up 4 o'clock in the morning, smoking, drinking, doing whatever they want to do, as long as you're not bringing no attention where the police gonna come down here, you feel me? So my homeboy tapping my bed. He like, damn, bro, my phone. You know what I'm saying? Like, we all playing with phones and shit like this at this time. He wake me up talking about somebody took his phone. He had a phone that didn't have a charger. He can't find this shit. And that's how a lot of people used to get got, because they used to fall asleep with the phones on the bed and shit like that. And somebody come through, swipe your shit, or the police would come through and swipe your shit. Now, he mad because he can't find the phone, this and that, and technically it wasn't his phone. Somebody had loaned it to him. The motherfuckers will loan it to you and make money and shit like that. So he panicking, he mad as a motherfucker. He like, man, somebody got my shit. I'm like, oh shit, I don't know, bro, but damn, you know, I'm gonna keep an ear out in the morning and I'll see what's up. It's 3 o'clock in the morning, bro. Like I said, so I'm sleeping. He just letting me know what's going on. But like, honestly, you could have waited till the morning to tell me that shit. So boom, that's when BMF pulls up. About 15 minutes later, he was like, oh damn, bro, I was waiting for you to get up. Waiting for me to get up for what? He like, shit, I got this phone, but it's dead, and I ain't got no charger. And he know I got a charger and got a phone and all that shit. He's like, damn, you could charge my phone for me? So I'm like, in my mind, come on now. It ain't even in my mind, it's obvious. My partner said his phone missing. 15 minutes later, you pull up talking about you got a phone out of nowhere, 3 o'clock in the morning, and you need to charge. But I'm the type of motherfucker that I'm not gonna tell and do all this, but like, oh, well, he said he got a phone, he said he got this. I'm gonna stay out, I'm gonna play dumb all the way until it's time to pop out and be like, boom, all right, this is what it is. If I have to do that, you feel me? Really, this shit ain't got nothing to do with me. So I put the phone on the charger, knowing this nigga just stole his phone from another nigga. So I put the phone on the charger, right? And then that's when all this commotion started going on about a couple minutes later after that. Because the motherfuckers trying to find out where the phone went. Now, my partner whose phone got stolen, he done went to some of his other people. And like I said, it wasn't his phone. So he went to the people whose phone it was. And now they like, man, what the fuck going on? They ready to wake everybody up in the dorm. The lights out in this bitch. They ready to turn this bitch all the way up. So, mind you, I'm in the bed. You feel me? I'm laid down. I'm not even over there with the conversation. I don't know nothing. Even though I know something, I don't know nothing. You feel me? So boom. I wait. I let the shit play out. That's when they call BMF back there. BMF. And BMF go walk all the way around. Like, this shit is like a U. Like, it's crazy because the beds go all the way down to this end. Then you walk up and the front gate is right there. Then you can go around, go straight down to the bathroom. Or before you get to the bathroom, you come down. It's another lane of beds. He come out, he go all the way to the back. It's the back furthest way you can be from the police besides the bathroom. And it's hard to see because the bunk beds is like back there. So sometimes they'll block that bitch off where you can't even see back that bitch. So that's when I hear them talking, they arguing, voices getting loud. After a while, I start hearing some shit sliding. When you hear them sliding in an environment like that, that's when you know it's going down. That mean them beds moving. That mean motherfuckers is getting it in. Motherfucking bodies is moving. So boom, you hear all the then you hear people hitting. Now I hear after a while, after that for a couple minutes, like just beating and shit. Then I hear a motherfucker like screaming and shit. I'm like, oh shit, this shit getting kind of. They serious. They done got on BMF ass. They done singled him out. First they was gonna beat my partner, who got his phone stolen because it wasn't his phone. You feel me? Then they replayed everything. They found out what was going on. BMF got on his ass and whooped the fuck out that nigga. When I tell you they beat that man all night, it was 3 o'clock in the morning. They beat him till the motherfucking lights came on in that bitch. Like 6 o'clock in the morning, right before breakfast trade came on. Damn, they're torturing this nigga. Beating the fuck out this nigga, man. So boom, soon after that, you know, I want to say he got jumped like 2 more times after that by some different people. Motherfuckers came from another ward and whooped his ass right in front of us. So I mean, like I said, he just had a lot of shit going on, and that's one lesson to that is like you gotta watch motherfuckers in your circle, because he was a thieving ass nigga, trying to be home team, homeboy, and all that shit, trying to be click up and be friendly and shit, because you know you was a shiesty motherfucker, bro. Ain't nobody, you know what I'm saying? So basically, after they beat him and all that shit, my partner pull up and goddamn was like, and shit, I ain't gonna lie, I thought it was gonna be a problem behind this shit, but I would have kept it real with him. Like, shit, I ain't know nothing. I ain't had nothing to do with nothing. But my partner pull up and was like, BMF gave you a phone to charge? I'm like, hell yeah. He's like, man, let me get that phone. This is after they done whooped his ass. Yep, here you go. Boom, gave him the phone. And it was over with, nigga, you feel me? But the reason why I said it could have been a problem, because it made it look like I had something to do with that shit if they would have took it like that. Like, damn, okay, y'all niggas done stole the phone, or y'all niggas, you know, you stole the phone, he charging the phone, all that type of shit. So, you know, that shit just be crazy as fuck. So you gotta watch motherfuckers in your circle. First of all, the nigga was never really a friend of mine or was in my circle, but it's the circle of niggas in my circle, you feel me? You could kick it with somebody, and then who he kicking it with? So that's where that shit became a problem. It could have became a problem. They beat that motherfucker all night. And in my mind, I'm like, man, they come over here fucking with me, bitch. I'm about to get my knife. And you know what I'm saying? And that would have been some bullshit when really I could have killed all that shit in the beginning. Like, nope, I ain't got nothing to do with nothing. I ain't charging no phone. Nope, you feel me? But I did, you know, I played dumb to the point where I ain't know nothing. You feel me? But yeah, that shit is a dangerous game. You gotta goddamn pick your cards too, you know, wisely and shit like that. But damn, back to the BMF shit, I'm gonna go ahead and reveal this. So turns out, when it's all said and done, me and him was having a conversation. He was telling me he had robbed like a fast food restaurant. I ain't even gonna say which food restaurant, you know what I'm saying? But it was like a fast food restaurant. This nigga's robbing motherfuckers for burgers and fries and shit like that. So I'm like, damn, you was with BMF, but you caught a fucking armed robbery? That, first of all, didn't make sense. Actually, because if you a thief and you claim to be with BMF and these niggas got M's, something ain't right. Bitch, you must have been cleaning bathrooms at the mansion or some shit like that. Ain't no way. But I ain't never, you know, didn't challenge it, didn't give a fuck to challenge it. But then secondly, after all that shit came out, motherfuckers was like, and I ain't gonna say, you know, the full name, but motherfuckers was like, man, you seen this motherfucker ID? Because we used to have to wear the IDs to go to cafeteria and shit like that, wear ID clipped on your shit. And they was like, man, that nigga ain't in no motherfucking BMF. That's his motherfucking initials. The motherfucker first name started with a B. The other initials was an MF, you feel me? So he got that shit tatted on his head. Went, you know, he did what to the feds before that, but somehow came up with this story in his head that he was a real BMF member and had niggas going off of that shit just because he had the tattoo and was telling the stories. Now, you feel me? And that shit crazy because motherfuckers, like I said, they go to prison and be who they want to be and have people believe in all this bullshit, you feel me? That's why, you know, Lord forbid any of y'all go to prison. But if you do have to do some time, keep to yourself and don't pay none of that shit no attention, you feel me? Like, even a motherfucker telling you a story, just let that shit go through one ear and out the other, because half of these motherfuckers be clown, they be fake, they be goddamn lying, they be, you know, just making shit up, trying to get some entertainment in the moment, bro. Fuck all that shit. And this the difference. In 2023, it's cell phones now, you feel me? See, he was one of the motherfuckers that been locked up early 2000 and all that shit. It's different now. Because if you got it like you say you got it, somebody got a phone back there, bitch, and they should be able to pull you up. Oh, man, damn, bro, you on the book? Damn, you on the ground? Yeah, show me something, nigga. You feel me? Ain't no way you was the man out there in the street. You ain't got no pictures. You ain't got no followings. You ain't got no motherfucker writing. You ain't got nothing going on. So that's where nowadays all that going to prison, talking about you as the man on the streets, that shit's really coming to an end. But back in before, probably a couple years ago, probably about 5-10 years ago, motherfuckers used to go to prison and tell all kind of stories, man. Them motherfuckers could tell you they have a helicopter, plane, all kind of shit, bro, and couldn't prove you no different. But nowadays, yeah, them cell phones, you gonna have to show me. If not, you ain't talking about shit. And that's the difference, you know what I'm saying? Another little prison story, how I met a BMF member in prison, real live BMF. You feel me? But yeah, y'all tune in. Follow me, TikTok, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, CashFlow Kweezy. I'm trying to be more consistent. Keep this thing going. I'm out.